Hello and welcome to 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk. This is episode 43 and I'm your host, comedian Tracy Carnazzo, joined by Noelle Herzog.
Hello.
Hey Noelle, thanks for being here. We have a ton to talk about today. I'm really happy that we are just doing one show.
Me too.
I feel like it gives us time to really pick apart, to really criticize these people, to really just make them feel like they are nothing.
No, me too, because I feel like when it was two shows, it's also a lot to watch.
We were watching hours and hours and hours of TV.
We were, and then it was way less enjoyable. Now that it's one episode, I watch it and I'm like, okay, this is fun.
We neglected our children.
Yes.
They got taken away by CPS.
Thank God.
Shout out to CPS.
Uh-huh.
They all live in a firehouse now.
Yeah,
It's
thanks to Matt.
Oh, it's so nice. So comfortable.
Quiet.
We're here to talk about season 7, episode 3 of 90 Day Fiance, regular straight 90 Day Fiance.
That's wild. We haven't watched just a regular 90 day in a while.
I know. So the other thing that I really want to talk to you about before we start and get into the meat of our episode is our Patreon.
Ooh.
So a lot of people don't know about our Patreon. We started it off when we started our podcast, Teen Mom Trash Talk.
Yes.
And we do this other podcast. It's a bonus podcast. And it's called BS, Not Teen Mom Related, where we talk about ourselves. We answer questions from fans. And we just have like the grandest old time.
I love that podcast.
We have over 80 episodes of that. And we also do something else on our Patreon. We do a recap of Unexpected from TLC. So we have another podcast called Unexpected Trash Talk. We have 2 whole seasons of that on our Patreon. Also, our Patreon, if you're a super duper patron, you get to go into our secret Facebook group where we are just kind of the best of friends with everyone.
Where it's like probably the safest space you'll ever be.
Ever.
Yeah.
So guys, make sure you go to our Patreon. We are now joining forces, 90 Day Fiance and Teen Mom Trash Talk. It's just going to be a Trash Talk Patreon.
Cool.
So make sure if you've listened to all of our episodes, if you love us, if you hate us and just like to make fun of us, go join our Patreon, patreon.com/Teen Mom Trash Talk. We're going to be updating the URL. We're going to be updating the artwork, but just know that is what you're going to get if you join and subscribe. And it's going to make your life better.
I want you guys to know Tracy put a candy catalog in front of me and I can't stop looking at it.
Okay, well, put that away.
So it's gone.
Stop being bad.
I'm so bad.
Speaking of bad, let's talk about Robert and Anny.
Okay, they're your favorite.
They're my favorite, and by my favorite, I mean the worst people ever.
I know.
And not Anny so much, just Robert.
Robert is a moron. Let's be
I think you
honest.
said it perfectly. He reminds me so much of Tracy Morgan. So Robert and Anny, they got drunk the first night and they did living room sex.
Gross.
So she says to him, listen, I need some clothes. I left all my clothes in the DR for my sister to sell.
Right, to take care of my family. And he's like, oh, I love how family oriented she is.
Like, what?
Oh,
That's what you got out of this?
Right. Right.
He's really reaching.
I know.
He's
I know.
really reaching. So he's like, yeah, that's what I love about you. That you came here with no clothes so your sister could sell your Fashion Nova G-strings
So your sister
on the
can sell your
streets of the
fake
Dominican.
Versace. Right.
Anyway, so Bryson goes to school and now he's going to take Anny to a secondhand store.
Right. The Avalon Exchange.
So she thought that she was going to be buying Chanel and Versace when she got here.
Well, where did she get that idea?
Do you think that maybe he told her that?
I mean, listen, I think that he probably told her like, hey, we're going to go shopping. But I also think she was under a different impression of what the situation was.
I feel like he expressed to her that she was going to be taken care of in designer clothes.
But maybe in his mind, that's what he's doing.
I don't think he's doing that in his mind. She said that all the clothes that she buys in the DR are expensive.
Okay. I mean, good for her. She calls it rubbish. Where this
Yes,
stuff is
that was
rubbish.
very funny.
Yep.
So she's in the store. What is it? The Avalon Exchange?
Yes.
And the store worker is just standing there forever.
The store worker is there like through a deep conversation of theirs. She's just standing there.
I respected that
Yeah,
so much
I
because
know.
that is who I would be as the store worker.
No, not me. I would be like hiding behind the rack listening.
If they told me in my store they were going to have a reality show with garbage people and they needed me to be the store attendant on camera and then the people were going to fight in the store, I would have been right in between them.
I literally feel like you'd be folding clothes in between them.
I wouldn't even be folding. I wouldn't even try to pretend that I was folding clothes. I would just be like, tell me more.
You would be like, do you want to donate that shirt?
I would be like, I am your couples counselor.
Yeah, you would.
Tell me what's going on, guys. He said that he's very hurt. Robert's very hurt because Annie is not responding to him the way that he thought that she would by bringing her to the Avalon Exchange.
So, okay, like I'm not against buying used clothes, right? Like I buy a lot of stuff.
I love used
stuff
clothes.
at the thrift store.
Sure.
Like literally, I can't tell you how much stuff I buy that's used. Mostly what I buy is used. But I don't understand really her turning her nose up at it. But I think it's just she's just not used to it.
Sure.
Is that what it is? Like
I don't think it's that she's not used to it. Remember something. Let's go back a little bit. She left her clothes in DR for her sister to sell secondhand.
Right.
And now she's pretending like she doesn't know what a secondhand store is.
Okay, I get that he is a moron, right? I understand that. But do you think that he really told her, like, you come to Florida, I'm going to buy you Chanel and Versace?
Yeah, I think that she thinks that Americans have a lot of money.
So do I.
He probably said, I have a ton of money. I work a lot.
I think he probably said, like, I work a lot. I don't know. I just can't imagine him bullshitting her to that extent.
Well, she slips into something more comfortable for their date night. She's wearing this very expensive dress with her expensive black bra showing right through the crisscross.
It's wonderful.
Very expensive. She's upset. So they go to this restaurant and the server is absolutely the worst.
Why do you think he's the worst?
So nervous on camera.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you just meant like as a human.
Over the
yeah,
top.
he was terrified.
Over the top. Like, hello, I'm sorry for interrupting you. It's like, hey, can you just be a regular server?
I know, but Robert told him, I appreciate you. And that made me love Robert.
Hilarious.
Because it's like, come on, you and I have been servers.
Of course.
Someone says that and it's like, thank you. You don't know what I go through.
You overshare with your tables?
Yes.
Hi, I have been having a hard time
You
at
don't
home.
understand. They pay us $2 an hour here. You have no
really do,
idea.
So she looks at the menu and she goes, ooh, this is a fish and seafood menu. I would like this for the wedding. And he's like, well, no. She goes, I want to get married on Miami Beach. He's like, okay, well, we're going to go to the courthouse. She's like, I want to go to Miami. He goes, you should go alone.
He's like, courthouse and bowling.
Hilarious. He's being super nasty. And she said that she's going to throw the wine in his face.
Yeah, I mean, I LOL'd at this whole part.
She won't eat her food.
Right, of course not.
He's like, that is expensive fish. We are at the ground round.
Yeah, she's a ground around. She is a BFB. She is.
What's a BFB?
A big fat baby.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
No.
She said that she wants to go home and sleep far away from him. And he's like, well, guess what? I got news for you. We're all sleeping in a toddler bed tonight.
I have news for you. Far away is the living room.
That was hilarious.
That whole exchange was very funny.
He said that she doesn't appreciate what he's doing for her and that she's selfish and ungrateful.
You take her side in this and I take his side in this.
Because she said that he's not delivering his promises. And I got to tell you, I think that she's right. I think that he promised her certain things. I'm not saying it's right to expect certain things. I don't think that you need to have Chanel and Versace.
Right.
Or I don't even think you deserve Chanel and Versace. But if that is what you want, then you need to, and you communicated that with him.
Well, that's the thing. I think that she just expects a lot of things. And he's kind of like, I'm a single dad and I'm an Uber driver.
Right. But is this like when Larissa came here and lived with Colt and she was like, hey, we live in the desert. It's 120 degrees out. I did expect a car with air conditioning.
Yeah, I think it's very similar to that too. But I also, again, I don't think Colt told Larissa like, hey, I'm going to buy you Versace. And
no, I think
Larissa
that he might have
wanted.
promised air conditioning.
Well, I mean, that goes without saying.
Just saying. So now he got a surprise for her.
Lingerie.
Right. And she's like, oh,
that lingerie, when she took it out, it looked like it would fit like my Barbie doll.
Okay, so I wrote down, will it fit?
Right.
And then she put it on and it was very stretchy.
I couldn't believe how well it fit her.
I couldn't believe she put it on camera.
Oh, me either.
I was like, that is a contract that you did not negotiate properly.
But she looked good.
No, I'm not saying she didn't look good, but I'm just saying like you should have maybe said no.
Yes. Right. I would not do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, for enough money.
I mean, maybe. Oh, no, probably not.
Let's talk about the new recruit, Mike. He's 34 from Washington State.
How do you feel about him?
Okay. First look, I was like, I'm going to love this guy.
I know. I thought the same thing. I'm like, Tracy's going to love him.
And then
what happened?
Turn for the worst.
You hate him.
Hate him.
Why?
Okay. He's from Washington State. He's 6'7", and he says, I love being the center of attention. I am the center of attention here. You could see me from anywhere in the town.
Yeah.
He lives in a trailer.
Okay, but he's 6'7".
He lives in a trailer and he's basically bragging about how much money he has.
Yeah.
He lives with Uncle Beau.
Uncle Beau is like Toothless Tony in Kentucky.
Oh my God, he really is. Uncle Beau is a ranch hand that lives in the barn off the land.
My mom has like basically a ranch hand and his name is Toothless Tony and he is Beau. Like he speaks in a drunk accent.
Okay, so when we went to Kentucky for Noelle's wedding, we went to the barn that you were getting married in.
Yes.
And Toothless Tony was there. And we were trying to meet with the rental people and the florist for the wedding. And Toothless Tony was like, hey, girls, I have some deer jerky. And we were like, we're good. We're just looking at flower arrangements. And then he came in with a whole entire life-size frozen turkey. And now I'm not talking a butterball turkey. I'm talking a turkey with legs and hands and feet
like
and
a
feathers.
Full-ass grown turkey.
Like he had all his clothes on. He comes out, the thing is stiff as a board, it's frozen solid, and is like, look at the turkey I have.
Right.
It's frozen. It was in the deep freezer. And we're like, okay, well, that's great.
That's not where we're going to store our ice.
Then he starts talking to us about how good roadkill stew is.
Yes, he did.
He's
like possum and such.
Right.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, you just take all the roadkill and then you boil it in a pot. We're like, okay, well, we've heard enough. So this is basically Uncle Beau.
Yes.
And he does say, I live off the land.
Yeah.
And I think when he said that, he meant roadkill stew.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thing.
Mike says he has a bachelor pad.
Right.
Noelle. He lives in a trailer. And it's not even like one of those nice
But
trailers.
are you opposed to trailers like in general?
It's like a rundown, broken
I
down
feel like
trailer.
if I had a plot of land and like I had a trailer there and like you had a trailer there.
But like a nice trailer, like the
Yeah.
brand new trailer. Like
Yeah.
this is not, like his trailer is more like a broken down shed.
I think you're more versed in trailers than I am, to be honest.
I might be. I definitely might be. So anyway, he was married once and apparently
Right.
she left him for another woman.
That was an interesting twist.
I like how they blocked out her face in the wedding picture, but just showed her
But
cleavage.
her boobs. Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's nice of them.
Well.
Right. To give you a hint of who she is, here's her boobs.
Here's her cleavage.
Uh-huh.
Spilling over a strapless gown.
Yeah, which is a big no-no in my book.
So yada, yada, yada. He gained a lot of weight.
Right.
He lost 80 pounds recently.
Awesome.
And his best friend, Matt, married a Ukrainian girl. And
Svetlana.
I know. It's like, how did you know that
How'd
was
you know
going to be
she
her
was
name?
Ukrainian?
So they had a baby and he was the godfather and her friend Natalie was the godmother.
Right.
So they fell in love and he went there to meet her.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 months later, they went to Paris and he proposed.
She's so cute.
She's adorable. Do you think that Svetlana and Natalie have a plan?
Okay, so I'm not sure. I was thinking that. I feel like, because what else could they possibly be getting out of it? But I don't know. And then you see her and I feel like she was kind of genuine.
Yeah, but it's like also like he's not the worst.
No, he's not the worst. I've seen so much worse.
Right. So you're like, all right, whatever. I mean, this is how I got to get to America. Yeah,
Right.
whatever. She wants to have kids right away and he doesn't want to have kids now because
Right.
he's in a lot of debt.
And she doesn't know that.
It's so weird that he went to the Ukraine.
Why?
I thought it was too cold to go there.
Oh, right. Well, it's too cold to go to Ukraine. You can't walk around.
No, you got to
can't
stay.
meet family. Right. You could only stay inside.
I really
It's that cold.
apologize that I'm coughing through this whole podcast.
That's okay. I bring it out of you. I don't even know why.
I think I'm allergic to you.
Okay.
She wants to have kids right away. So anyway, so he goes to the pond. The pond is straight up green. And he's
It looks
like,
really great.
me and Beau are going to make the pond blue. So he starts putting blue pond dye, or is this just dye?
I don't know. I feel like it was some kind of like pond dye.
We got to Google this. Guys, if you know more about this than we do, which you have to, please go and join our Facebook group, 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk, and just tell us what's going on.
Yes.
So here's another thing that I noticed. So now they're in his house, and I think he's like in the living room or by the computer, right? He's like going to FaceTime with her on the
Yes.
computer screen. He has a vent in the middle of his kitchen floor.
Okay. I did not notice that.
On the floor, there's like a HVAC vent in the middle of the floor.
Interesting.
Very strange.
Maybe he's got someone caged down there.
Maybe. I don't think there's basements in trailers though.
Oh, maybe not. Well, maybe he made a little mud room down there for them.
For the crawl space.
Uh-huh.
He finds out that her visa is delayed. It's
Right.
going to be at least 6 months. So he's going to go visit her again. How? I thought it's too cold.
I mean, and also I thought he was in debt.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Anna and Marcel.
Oh, okay. They're the Benjamin and Akini. Like these people, they're the most boring to watch.
Yeah,
No?
and they're also EDPs.
Yeah, right. Yes.
No,
girl.
can you just tell us what that means?
So an EDP is an emotionally disturbed person. And it doesn't have to mean that like you're a psycho. It just means that there's something wrong with you
You're
emotionally. You're touched. You're off. These people are off.
They had a rough few days. So they go to the park.
Right.
She looks beaten up.
She looks very bad here. Like she looks like she was crying for days.
He said that dinner was very sad.
Uh-huh.
And he said that they are, this is a quote, losing each other.
Right. It's like, what are you talking about? You've been there for 2 days.
He's trying to keep the boys a secret.
Right.
But he won't answer the question directly. And this is driving me crazy.
I know. He's gaslighting her.
Yep. So he said that he doesn't know if he will leave. So the boys are like, okay. So when are you going to tell your family?
Right.
And he goes, I don't know, maybe in like 10 years.
Right.
So basically he's going to tell his parents when they're dead.
Yeah, pretty much. Like go to the grave like, hey, Mom, can you hear me?
Yeah. I have 3 kids.
Right. Annie had kids. Right. Anna.
She said that, he said, this is our destiny.
But what does that mean?
There's no English going
I don't
on.
know. Here's the problem. They cannot communicate at all.
I mean, they can't even, because they don't even use the translator.
No.
She just says it again.
Uh-huh. She just says things to him and he just like stands there with a look on his face and she interprets the look.
It's very bad. So Gino was there when he told everyone that he's lying to his parents.
Yeah. And I feel she thought that Gino didn't really understand. But
why? Because Gino speaks all the way English.
Right. Gino understood. They just don't want, that means that Marcel doesn't want them. That's what he understood.
Yeah, Gino is also like 10. He's not
right. He's
stupid.
he's not an infant.
Or he's like 12. I don't even know. He's like a regular age child.
I think he's 12.
Yeah. He like could have a family soon.
Soon. Why not?
Joey starts grilling him, the older one.
Right. But the older one, like you could tell he's like LOLing.
They're all kind of
I know. I feel like all the kids, not really
like,
the little one, but the kids
he's
are
like, oh, you don't like pizza?
Right. But they're smiling.
Right. He's like, this is going to be rough for you,
because they're like, what a joke this guy is. Yeah.
Joey said that this is Marcel's fault, and it is.
Yeah, it is Marcel's fault.
He said it was his choice to come here.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, Marcel really thinks he's a hero because he came to America.
Yeah, it's like big deal. You came with all your Columbia gear. And like this woman, I don't know what he was telling her through the app.
Nothing. He wasn't telling her anything. They were just looking at each other's bees.
I guess. Yeah.
They were really just being each other.
But at least she says, you know what? Not many people say this. She says that she will choose her kids over him. And
yeah, I mean, you could say whatever you want.
Not many people on the show
She just
say
keeps
that.
saying, what will happen? What will happen? What will happen?
I know, but that's the thing. Their storyline is so boring. So what? So his family finds out, okay.
And then they expel him.
Right. It's like, what does that even mean?
No one knows. Michael and Juliana.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of EDPs, I think his lawyer is some EDP.
I don't know what is wrong with anybody involved in this situation.
She's a weirdo. She has on this weird purple dress, like a bridesmaid dress.
Yes.
And there's nothing on her desk. It's almost like they found someone off the street and were like, okay, you ready to play my lawyer?
Right.
We have this empty office space. Anyway, Juliana got her visa. He gets her a Hummer limo because the helicopter was out of his budget.
Give me a break.
So he brings her flowers and she gets off the plane in a crop top.
Here's the thing though, like out of everyone that we've seen, this was the most drama-free arrival I've ever seen. And she cried.
Yes. Also, she was wearing a crop top on a plane. Is that very comfortable?
Probably not. She wore a crop top sweatsuit.
Very strange.
And you're right. I saw the tooth she was missing.
Yep.
I didn't see
Not
that
there.
before. Yeah.
I don't think she's a model.
They
get in the limo.
She's so lucky.
She is so lucky.
She is lucky.
They get in the limo and he says,
I'm going to faint.
Oh, we could shoot a limousine porno. And she ignores him. She's like, I speak 100% English.
Yeah, and I can't hear you.
I am ignoring this. And then he goes, because he's going to shorten the phrase, limo porn. And you hear the crickets.
It's like taking a bullet every time you say it.
I know. It's like literally though, the crickets are, she's like, I heard you the first time.
Right.
I am from the jungle, but I have been a hooker for years on yachts. Like I speak English.
So I understand what you're saying.
He brings a champagne from 1996.
Her birth year.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
He doesn't even seem happy.
No, he doesn't seem like giddy to see her. I feel like he's using her to boost his ego.
Yes. And she's using him to come to America and have cash.
Yes. I think that for him, it's more like, look what I can do for you. And it's funny because I have someone in my life that I am watching do this right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's so crazy.
Yep.
She says like, I have so many opportunities in America, especially my career.
Right. And it's like, well, what career is that exactly?
Wow.
Yachting? Seamstressing.
Seamstress yacht seamstress.
Yes.
The necklace he gives her is hideous.
I know it was hideous because they wouldn't focus.
wouldn't show it.
They wouldn't focus.
Noelle, I couldn't even get, like, I kept
was
pausing
dying.
it.
Yes.
You can't see it.
I know.
I need her to start wearing it.
They would not put that thing into focus. All I saw was 100 million colors of stones.
It was terrifying.
And one large stone. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was really bad.
She is so poor in Brazil.
And he loves reminding her of that.
You're a rich American when you're with me.
You're just a poor Brazilian in Brazil.
They make $10 to $20 a month.
I mean, it's definitely eye-opening
Right.
to see the difference between here and there, but it's like also like, okay, I don't know what to say.
Well, now they're in Greenwich, and you know how you know that?
How?
All the Bentleys.
It's like, did you roll your eyes super hard when he said that?
Yes.
Yeah.
She wants to stick it to the people who denied her visa.
It's like, all right.
She's like, haha, I'm a hooker and I still got to America.
Pretty much.
Anyway, so Max calls him and he keeps calling Max big guy on the phone.
I know.
He's like going over the top.
Yeah.
Like you don't talk to your kids like that.
No, nobody. My dad never called me big girl.
Well,
Interesting.
you did have a little bit of a weight problem. When
I
you were little.
did.
His apartment is a disaster.
Okay. What the hell?
So
That
they're
looked like
moving.
hoarders.
He's moving, but
Yeah.
like, why didn't you move?
Yeah, you should have moved so when she got there, you had the place.
You have all this money. Why didn't you move some
hire
stuff?
movers.
Do something.
I would hire movers in 1 minute.
Anyway, the kids are so happy to meet her.
If I was her, I would thank my lucky stars that the children I was going to meet were like that.
They are so much fun.
Yeah.
I want to meet these kids.
Me too. Cece wouldn't stop hugging her.
She loved
it was
her.
so cute.
So they have 2 dogs that are adorable too.
Yeah.
And the kids made her breakfast. I loved this.
They made her a cake.
They made her a cake. Now, Max is like, listen, I Googled it and an avocado is used as a dessert in Brazil. She's like, yes, that's so right.
And it's funny because like they're the only people who've ever Googled other cultures.
In the whole entire history of 90 Day Fiance,
Yeah.
these 2 children are the most intelligent by far.
I love them so much.
I love them.
Yep.
Max, so Cece did all the cooking.
Yes.
I like how she's like 5 and she was like, I manned the stove. What is the problem?
I fried the sausages.
Max is like, okay, to be totally honest with you, I was the taste tester. He's like, the sausage is good. I've been eating them all day.
And he goes, and I was the reheater.
I love this kid.
I know.
Michael, they're doing like the interview with him outside. He is soaking wet from head to toe.
Okay, right. All I saw was man nipples. That's all I saw.
I don't know what's going on with
Okay,
him.
I think that he was sweating. I think he was doing like...
Maybe they should have like toweled him off or
Yeah,
done the interview
probably.
inside. Okay, let's go to Emily and Sasha.
All right. I mean, I hated everything about this.
I don't know who didn't.
Okay, good. I thought this was just me because I have to tell you, I felt like faint during parts of this.
She's in labor. She's in a dark, dirty hostel in labor.
I was having Olga flashbacks.
It looked like the same place that
I
Olga
know
was.
her apartment's the same place. She sublets from Olga.
She does. She's like, Olga, I'm going to actually be giving birth too. Can you give me the name of your doctor?
Right. And Olga's like, sure. His name is serial killer Miguel. He looked like a serial killer. Right? Did you see that haircut?
Yes, all of it was so terrifying.
Like his mom still cuts his hair.
He looks
It's
like an
so
orderly that was
bad.
going to murder everyone.
Yes. Yes. He looks like he's going to play with her baby for fun. Like he looks bad.
All right, so they give her an epidural.
I didn't watch that.
Okay.
I closed my eyes
It was
so
just
hard.
a needle, but like also like, was it a needle? like, I don't even know. Was it a used needle?
Maybe. Was it a rusty needle?
Sasha said that he's never seen a birth and he doesn't even remember where he was when her other two
I know.
kids
He's
were
like,
born.
I was at work. Maybe. I don't remember. And it's like, oh, you're such a great dad.
No, but that's how it is in Russia. This is a cultural thing.
Yeah.
The men are not allowed in the hospital. And the only reason he's allowed is because he speaks English and she doesn't.
But that's why these Russian women are so tough. I'm not even kidding you. I'm not like stereotyping.
We need to do this.
Yeah, this is like, because every time, like I live in a neighborhood, a lot of Russian women, Ukrainian women, they always say like, I'm a strong Russian woman. And I swear they're so strong.
It's
this
true.
is why they're stronger than the men.
I remember when I was in culinary school, there was this Ukrainian woman and she would always like take out all the garbage and like scrub all the stoves.
Exactly. Yes.
Like without anyone asking her. And she was also missing fingers from like a previous job that she had.
Right. I told you my friend's grandmother has wooden teeth in Russia.
She's so strong.
Yeah, she's so strong. I mean, she has George Washington mouth.
Oh my God, stop. So back to the story. She's in a college dorm getting an epidural.
Yes, exactly.
And he's sitting on a lawn chair. They're basically in like a stoner's apartment in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, that blanket looked like a wall tapestry. They just took off the college dorm wall.
5 hours later, the doctor seems really annoyed.
Uh-huh. Like, are you kidding me?
Okay, so she's pushing, but no one's looking at her crotch.
No, everybody's looking away.
They're like, I don't know, push. Do you feel like a baby's coming out of you?
Right, like, oh, it's not coming?
Well, guess what? She needs a C-section because the baby's in her hip.
Right.
Backwards.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know. It was pointing the wrong way.
Okay.
She's screaming. They strap her down. They're wearing gauze on their mouths like beekeeper suits.
I felt really bad about this.
So the baby comes out. The baby's not crying.
No.
Sasha's lost his mind.
Yes.
He's like, the baby's not crying. The baby's not crying. The baby's not crying. But then the baby cries. They put him in a Tupperware.
Baby Dave.
Is that his name? Dave?
Dave.
Wow. How?
I know, right? His name is Dave. It's
Original.
like, this is my son, Dave.
This is Bob.
So, right. So they show him like holding baby Dave. And in the background, I just see her guts. Literally, I just saw her guts on the table.
It was probably the placenta.
No, it was her inside.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
good. Okay, everything's
No,
fine.
and I'm like, oh, okay, good. You know, Julia posted in our group, and it was like, Noelle, don't watch it. And she was right.
She was absolutely right.
You were right.
I second Julia. Noelle.
No.
Moments after this terrible surgery that is done with a fork and a butter knife, she's sitting up like nothing happened.
So I was thinking the same thing.
She's like, well, that was fun.
She was like, okay, well, baby Dave is here. Everything is fine. It's like, what?
It's like, everything's fine. You just died.
Yeah, I thought like her insides were going to fall out. I was very scared.
They murdered you.
I know. I saw myself, your intestines.
Let's talk about my least favorite couple, Tanya and Sinjin.
This is 100% my least favorite couple.
He's been there for one day. And it's not even because I hate him. I hate her so much.
I hate her all the way.
Because I like him.
No, I like him so much. I'm telling you, I hate her the way I hated Tiffany.
I hate her more.
I mean, I hate her more too. I hate her attitude.
She loves playing with his underarm hair and smelling his armpit.
But what is that? Do you know what it's like to be with a man? Because they don't smell good.
She goes, it's been so long since I've been able to do this. And he's like, yes, you've missed it.
Her mountain man smell. I don't know.
Get away from
gross.
me. I feel like I'm going to faint just talking about it.
I know.
So now he's only been there for one day. They're going to spend another full day with her friends.
And he's like, oh, great.
They go to like a dirty sushi cafe.
So I looked it up. That's a vegan sushi place.
Okay, well, that's great. He wants to be a
Meaning
bartender.
I'd be starving afterwards.
He wants to be a bartender or a fireman or an actor or an opera singer.
He wants to do Hollywood auditions.
Okay, well, here's a bad little truth. You live in Connecticut.
Here's the thing. She's already annoyed, though.
Okay, but why didn't you guys talk about this? And also, why didn't maybe you, Sinjin, Google being a fireman?
Yeah, but here's the thing. A bartender, that's a good place to start.
Sure, because he was a bartender in South Africa.
Yeah, so that's a good place to start. But why is she annoyed by everything?
Well, she wants in 3 years minimum to have a kid. He's not sure if he even wants kids.
Right.
So they go to dinner because she's going to take him to a classic steakhouse, which looks like a diner.
Yeah, it's not a classic steakhouse.
She has repurposed a bridesmaid dress for this date.
She has.
She's gross. I'm sorry.
No, she's gross.
He says that he's not ready for kids and his mission is to travel. Well, her mission is to travel by land in a van.
Right.
And so is his. And he said it's impossible to do that with kids. And she's like, you could do both things.
And she's like, so you don't think women do things with kids? And it's like, when did it turn into this?
I know. She goes, no one ever asked a man that. And it's like, no. Literally, people would ask a man how he thinks that he's going to travel with his whole family while being a bartender, Hollywood auditioner.
Yeah. No,
opera singer.
This is not a thing. I don't know why she even turned it into that. I hate that attitude.
She says anything is possible.
She seems drunk, though.
I think that's just how she is.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
She says that it takes planning, and her original plan was to have kids before she's 30, and her plan was to get a sperm donor. But now she's going to wait to have kids because of him.
Right. So she's literally waiting for him. That's not pressure or anything.
Listen, she's got a lot of problems, this girl. She should have just like kept doing what she was doing.
Yeah, she's
what does she do for work? Does anyone know?
And she's an activist. She's a professional activist.
Great. Go get arrested on CNN. You pig. Everything's fine.
Oh, we love her so much.
Guys, this has been a great episode. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you're joining our Patreon, patreon.com/Teen Mom Trash Talk, just for now. Join up there and you're going to have the best time.
The best. Guys, honestly, I'm not even just like
I promise
BSing you.
Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you're following us on social media at 90 Day Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. And you could follow me, your loyal host, comedian Tracy Carnazzo at Trixie Tuzini, TRIXIETUZZINI on Instagram and Twitter. And also, you can go to tracycarnazzo.com for my upcoming show dates.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you can follow me at Noe_bear810 on Instagram or at Noe Girl on Twitter.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.